Henry David Thoreau once stated, "An early morning walk is a blessing for the whole day," and the citizens of Speedway agree. In 2007, the Speedway Trails Association was formed and has been working ever since to improve the health and happiness of their fellow citizens. Trails connect neighbors, promote local businesses, and create pride in the community. With the help of volunteers, fundraising events, and large grants, the Speedway Trails Association has paved 1.2 miles of the P&E Trail along Crawfordsville Road, 1.6 miles of the B&O Trail, and 2.6 more miles of trails are near completion. This latest expansion will help connect downtown Indy to Hendricks County, but one major hurdle stands in the way: Eagle Creek.
Before we got the Next Level Trail grant, I never imagined that the Eagle Creek Bridge would be possible to build, and I never imagined going east to connect downtown to the White River.
The Speedway Trails Association members knew if they wanted a bridge across Eagle Creek, they needed money. A lot of money. And so they got to work filling out grant applications.
One reason we were first choice for the Next Level Trail grant was because of all the people involved. There's Speedway Trails, there's Department of Natural Resources, the matching funds that came from Central Indiana Community Foundation, the City of Indianapolis, and a lot of coordination that had to go on between everybody.
In 2019, their work paid off. Governor Holcomb awarded the Speedway Trails Association a Next Level Trails grant and presented a check to Beverly Catahenry, the Speedway Trails Association president. With this funding, the B&O Trail through Speedway could now be completed.
The Speedway Trails grant was the first application they accepted. To me, it was a big deal. Governor Holcomb was there, Mayor Hogshead was there. It was just a fun day, and they gave us a nice big check for almost $5 million. Plus the matching funds from Central Indiana Community Foundation will allow us to build all the way from Michigan Street to about the middle of Farley.
Only 2.75 miles are needed to finish the Speedway section of the B&O Trail, but 3 major infrastructure projects are needed to make it happen.
The 3 big infrastructure changes for our grant: 10th Street Bridge. The trail was supposed to go straight, and we thought we could just cross at the Polkle Street light, but it's a watershed issue. So Allison gave us some land that allowed us to cross 10th Street next to what was the credit union on the east side of the Little Eagle Bridge. We have our trail on that 10th Street Bridge. So that's a big infrastructure change, and it's still in construction, and it has to meet DPW standards and NDOT standards. And then there's it's a culvert. Most people don't even know that it's there or have ever seen it because it goes down. And you don't see it when you're driving, and you don't look down into the ground. But the culvert, which had only a 4-foot sidewalk, we had to extend to include a 12-foot trail. They brought in 2 large, taller than we are, concrete culverts. It was a 150-ton crane that lifted them down into the drainage ditch. And then they had to use, they call it a shotcrete system. So there's several layers of gravel and wire mesh. And then when they get the wire mesh and all the gravel in, they have this hose, a fire hose it looks like, and they shoot out the concrete onto the wires that are exposed. But it took several days to install the culverts. So the exciting part of the build for us was the Eagle Creek Bridge. The bridge was actually built in 4 sections in Wisconsin and then hauled down here on oversized load trucks. We had a 250-ton crane come in and set up on the east side first and unloaded 2 sections of the trail and connected them together, and then swung half the bridge out over Eagle Creek and set it, which was fun to watch. And then they moved the 250-ton crane to the other side, to the west side, and again unloaded 2 sections of bridge, connected them, which was really awesome to watch. And then they picked it up and swung it over the west half of the bridge. And it's just an exciting day for 2 days. 2 days is all it took to set the bridge, but it was an exciting 2 days. It did take about a little over a week to deck the bridge, to get the wood deck down. And there were so many people trying to get onto it that they gave up with the fence and they opened it up for us to use now, so anybody could walk across it.
The paving of the B&O Trail through Speedway is almost complete, including special artwork and signage for users entering the town.
The trail's regular asphalt, 12 feet wide, and it goes all the way from Michigan to, right now we'll stop at High School Road. So when people are coming from Indianapolis, we wanted them to know when they're getting into the town of Speedway. And so we did this embedded street crossing there at 10th Street and the Little Eagle Bridge. It's a really detailed process where they have this special machine that heats up the asphalt, and then they have a pattern that they pound into the hot asphalt. So you can see the pattern. It's not painted on the surface, it's level with the asphalt surface. So it's a really neat process, and a lot of decorative, artistic concepts can be done that way, but we chose just to have our logo on the trail and to say entering into Speedway, we'll have a sign, the town of Speedway. We do have another issue with that crossing and 3 other crossings. We're supposed to have a hawk system that's similar to the one on Lyndhurst for the B&O Trail. There's a supply chain issue. The components to build those hawk systems need a microchip. We don't have any, and it's not available. So what we ordered in February 2022 might not get here for several months. So we're trying to find another way of making the street crossings until our hawk system can come in, especially 10th Street, because it's a busy street. So yeah, the supply chain's an issue. The trails are still under construction. We're not sure, because of the supply chain issues, when it will be officially open, even though probably 95% of it is completed. So it is under construction until they turn it over to Speedway Trails.
In 2023, work will continue west from the Eagle Creek Bridge. Trees and shrubs need to be cleared throughout the abandoned rail bed. And along the way are 2 tunnels, one of which needs some care.
So the B&O Trail has 2 tunnels. The first one, of course, is under 465. The biggest issue is it has very obnoxious graffiti. So in 2024, when we start building our trail, we will be looking for an artist or a bunch of artists to cover up the graffiti and make it look pretty, nice, informative, which we just did to the tunnel under Girls School Road. Out there at 21st and the B&O, right there is Chapel Rock Church. Chapel Rock Church wants to have their parking lot be a trailhead and to have a pit stop area for people riding bikes so that people could come to church on the trail. And there's a tunnel under Girls School Road, and of course it was covered with obnoxious graffiti. And again, it takes coordination of many groups. It's not one person that could do something like this. It's a beautiful tunnel. It's under Girls School Road, has the B&O Trail, and it has it connecting Indianapolis and names all the towns between Indianapolis and Montezuma that the trail's connected to. So it took an Eagle Scout troop, it took an artist volunteering their time, it took Lowe's donating half the cost of the paint, and the Eagle Scouts, the Mission Indy, it's just a whole group of people that got this done. Beautiful tunnel now, and and all the fun things you could do by being outside. And we'll have to do the same thing with the tunnel under 465, hopefully in 2024.
Excitement for the B&O Trails increases with every mile added and every connection made. But will it be enough for all of the trails associations to reach their ultimate goal?
So by the end of 2024, we hope to be connected all the way from the White River to a small town called Maplewood. And it'll be at least about 17 miles long. We'll have a trailhead there in Maplewood. And we could go a little bit beyond, but it all depends on how much money we have left over. But 17 miles is a good set to get connected. Our trail, the B&O Trail, will end at Michigan Street. DPW 3 years ago received a grant to build a bicycle accessible trail along Michigan, and that will connect our trailhead at Michigan Street to the White River Trail, but that will be built in 2024. So when I say 17 miles in 2024, that includes that bicycle trail that DPW will be building. Once we get to Maplewood and the trailhead there, the actual abandoned B&O Railroad is 67 miles and ends in Montezuma, Indiana. So the original goal was to connect the White River to the Wabash River in Montezuma. And that's where we're going to try to keep getting to. The railroad CSX abandoned the bridge over the Wabash and paid a company to demolish it, and DNR, Department of Natural Resources, bought that bridge, and there is a group in Montezuma that has put a new decking on it and is using it as a trailhead, and they're trying to come east to meet us. So we're working from both ends, and hopefully we'll meet in the middle someday.
Countless hours of exercise, exploration, and quality family time have been spent on the Speedway Trails, all thanks to the countless hours of hard work from the Speedway Trails Association and its many volunteers.
So for volunteer hours for the Next Level Trail grant, we have to record it. Our first submission was over 1,000 hours of volunteers' hours just clearing brush and cleaning up trash along the Next Level Trail grant. So that's just 2 years of volunteer hours for the Next Level Trail grant. We've been having volunteers ever since 2008 when we had our first diamond in the rough. And trail clearings, Coca-Cola cleared the brush along Leonard Park, and they had like 40 people come out on a day of activity to clear that brush. So counting the number of volunteer hours since we started would be probably in the tens of thousands, plus the monthly meetings and all the meetings that we go to.
Since its inception in 2007, Beverly Catahenry has dedicated countless hours to the Speedway Trails Association and has inspired many Speedway citizens and businesses to do the same. Bev has organized and worked on many Trails Group cleanups and fundraising events. Beverly regularly speaks at organization meetings to garner financial support and recruit volunteers. She also runs advocacy booths at events all over town and much more. So much, in fact, that she has received many awards and accolades to honor her dedication and contributions.
We all know Bev, what Bev wants, Bev gets. And to the benefit of the town of Speedway. Yeah, Bev wanted trails and Speedway got trails, and we are a better town for it. So thank you, Bev.
Bev, you have led the way to a better Speedway. On behalf of Speedway Parks and Recreation, Speedway Parks Board, the town of Speedway, its counselors, leaders, and staff, community groups, community businesses, and the community as a whole, thank you.
So I've been to many community groups and Chamber of Commerce and Lions Club, just talking to inform people, we have an opportunity, let's build a trail on an abandoned railroad that's nothing but overgrown weeds. So lots of volunteer hours. We're not done. We still have lots of volunteer hours that we need. Future volunteer opportunities will mostly be heading west. We still have about a 3-mile section from High School Road to Raceway Road that we have to get connected. About half of it is overgrown with trees still. So in 2023, we'll have a lot of clearing opportunities. We will always post it on Facebook. If you want to be on our email list, we'll send out email blasts on volunteers needed. So let us know on Facebook that you want to be part of our volunteers, And if you have a chainsaw, we love you. Give us a call, and we'd love to let you know when our next tree clearing and brush clearing is. Another opportunity for Speedway Trails, we still park cars on the P&E, the Peoria Eastern Railroad that follows along Crawfordsville Road. So we do need volunteers, Indy 500 Day, that love the race traffic and the race vibe and don't mind helping. The fun part when we do that is, if I have time, I tell the cars that are parking on the trail that we are an all-volunteer nonprofit, so 100% of the money they're giving us goes to maintaining the trail. So, and everybody's usually very happy about that. So we do have a membership. Speedway Trails meets once a month, the first Thursday of each month here at 6 o'clock in the Town Municipal Center. We do have membership that you could go to our Facebook page, or you could go to speedwaytrails.com and become a member, and then you'll get on our email list and you could come to the meetings. Or you could just donate, and then we'll add you to our email list so that you know what's going on. So by becoming a member, you know about all the volunteer opportunities and things that need to get done. It's amazing how much it costs to mow 7 acres of grass. It's the P&E along Crawfordsville Road is 1.2 miles long, and it has a lot of grass that has to get mowed. And then also, once the B&O gets completed, we're going to have to maintain that for several years too. So we're going to need the funds. So go to speedwaytrails.com and donate or volunteer.
The redevelopment efforts for the town are a big win for the citizens and businesses of Speedway, and the trails play an important role in its success.
In 2007, when Speedway Trails was getting organized, we came up with our vision statement, and we wanted the trail to be accessible for everything from wheelchairs to strollers. And it is so much fun to see both of those on the trail. So there's always the accessibility for everyone to use the trails. Hopefully in the next 5 years or so, the city of Indianapolis will build the Eagle Creek Trail, and we'll have our 5-mile trail loop pretty close to being completed. So I know because we built the B&O Trail, it's put pressure on Indianapolis to build the Eagle Creek Trail. So we're getting closer to getting that done too. Both of our trails, the P&E along Crawfordsville and the B&O Trail, have connected the community to the town, Main Street, and also to the shopping center. The B&O Trail, I like going around 6 or 7 o'clock, and you see people carrying Rizzoli pizza boxes or Big Woods pizza, and so people go use the B&O to get to the fun places on Main Street. So it connects the community. The apartment complexes use the trail quite a bit too, and I'm finding more people that are commuting. They're going downtown, and they're really excited about the B&O getting connected downtown so that they could commute to work. It's going to connect a lot of communities. Indianapolis, Hallville, Fairfax, Speedway, Farley, Ben Davis, Claremont. It's amazing how many people have moved to Speedway because they heard of the trail and the connections of the trails, and they like the Main Street fun and food. My grandkids always want to go to the candy store and to the Fun Days ice cream. So ride your bicycle or run. If I want to get their attention, I say, okay, let's get on our bikes and go get some ice cream. So it's kind of a fun connection for the whole community at any time on the trail. It's been fun. It's been enjoyable to watch everybody and the excitement that everybody has for it.
You can show your excitement for Speedway Trails by donating, becoming a Speedway Trails Association member, or volunteering. Visit speedwaytrails.com to find out how you can get involved and continue the journey.
Thank you everybody for showing up, and the race is on.